What do you mean about Nadijo?
And I can
Ah, you said no.
No, I'm sure I did Mondays.
But it's Tuesday. No, it's Monday. These people have got. They should have got late. What's happening in the building? But when the sun is the side, it's the side, bro.
Whether
there's no shade or not.
Because
look at the way the sun is now.
Yes.
There's no way. It doesn't make sense. Because it's not facing anyway. Alright, so this is another edition of the AMATYMA series, and as per usual, I get an opportunity to talk to a father, a timer, and I'm very fortunate that I've got friends who are willing to, come and give their own input about the subject, the topic. But I also talk to people that are complete strangers, and for me that's a dynamic, and that's what this show is about. So today I get to speak to a very good friend of mine, someone I consider a brother. We've got a friendship that stands plus 20 years. We met when we were very young, trying out our lives as casual employees at Edgar's Southgate. Yes. And now we are fathers, we are married. Oh, a lot can happen in 20 years.
Yep.
And that's the beauty about life, is that you can either grow or you can remain as you are, and 20 years later people still ask, are you still there?
Yep.
So his name is David Kagiso Modise. They call him Demo Dog, those that love him. I've always called him Deep Boy. He's had a lot of nicknames. How's that sound there? How's that thing? It's there. It's there, but it's going to show it so that there's context in terms of what's making sense. Alright, so Demo, firstly, thanks for agreeing to do this. A lot of people that I ask to be a part of this will always have an excuse because they're scared. They think I'm gonna ask them personal questions, and this is not what this is about. Yeah. This is not about me trying to dig up your life or expose things in your life. It's got nothing to do with that. We're not a carte blanche. We're not a Deborah Peta or Third Degree, all those things. We're actually a platform that's specifically created to support other timers. Through the conversation they get to learn what there's people out there that actually have problems. I don't think Titimba has got a problem. I don't think Demo Dog has got problems. We actually are able to create that platform for people to realize that we're all human after all. Doesn't matter what you are, celebrity, no celebrity, business person, we all have our challenges. So I started this AMATYMA, as you know, just to try and get a conversation going for dads, single, married, divorced, widowed, it doesn't matter. Timer kill timer, And Rona Nerhola, everyone goes straight in the timer. Next door neighbor kill timer, uncle kill timer, Ramkhulu kill timer. Doesn't matter.
100%.
He's got every right to room or back hole or back beer. And if you don't go,
yes.
And you're gonna get back home or paisa about
yes.
So that's how we were raised. But obviously things have changed now. You can't do that anymore. You will be arrested. So I want to find out from you, what does fatherhood mean to you? As a father of 3. What does it mean to you to be a father?
Sure. It's a privilege. It's a privilege. And the reason I'll say that, it's because a huge percentage of our brothers do not step up. And our generation, that's when you find there was a lot of single mothers. Where I was raised by my mom, and it was common. If anything, the opposite was very, 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 very rare, where you'd find that I was raised by both my parents or by my dad. So we're the generation that's supposed to change that. Unfortunately, hence I said supposed to, but unfortunately it's not what's happening. Fact of the matter is, I think a lot of us didn't, by the time we had our firstborns, we're not ready for kids. So there's 2 ways. You either step up or you take the short route. So some people took the shortcut. For me, like I said, it's a privilege. It's challenging. It doesn't come without its challenges. But it's fulfilling. I think. But that being said, honestly speaking, having a child, and I'm going to sound very controversial, Having a
That's
child once you're married,
Yeah.
I think it's completely different to having a child when you're not married and when
Okay.
you're younger.
Yeah. What's the difference
versus
for
when you're
you?
older. For me personally, I was young. I was a kid myself.
Yeah.
I
How
was
old were you when you had your
barely-
first child?
I was 14, about 27, 28.
Yeah, but you were fairly.
No.
I mean, young is
remember,
relative.
yes, young is relative. But for me then,
Yeah, you were
I
still
was
living your life.
literally trying to navigate my way through. I was a kid myself.
I remember.
Put aside the age.
I remember you telling me.
You know what I mean? Put aside the age.
you were
I was a
shitting
kid
yourself.
myself.
You were like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
You know what I mean?
What does this mean?
Yes.
It was a lot.
But surprisingly, I mean, it's you learn as you go.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no template for it. There's no blueprint.
Yeah, there's no manual.
You learn. There's no at all.
Yeah.
You learn as you go.
And so, when I look at your life story, because I've been fortunate enough to have been there, even before you had a child, even during the news, I think I was one of the first people to find out, and I was like, yo, bruh.
And you were there the night Kumo was born.
Yes. I was like, yo, bruh, yo, what does this mean for us? Like, because it was like our child, because I didn't have a child then. I didn't know what it was like to have a child.
Yes.
You're one of the few friends that I had who were close to me who had kids. Back then, I
Yes.
didn't have friends with kids.
Yes.
And I look back now and I look at your kids and I'm like, first of all, time flies, right?
100%.
But secondly, you realize that being a parent has got nothing to do with money.
Oh yes.
Nothing.
Yes.
We need to get that out of the way, because a lot of people think, now you have to have a lot of money. Kids don't actually care how much money you've got.
Yep.
But they care about the time you give them,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
And now we look back, you are married, you've got 3 kids, you've got 2 daughters and a son, right?
Yes.
But your dynamic is different because you've got two kids with someone that you were with prior, when you were still single, right? And then now you've got a 3rd child with your wife.
Yes.
How is that for you? Because obviously I get to talk to fathers who are in different family dynamics.
Yes.
Some are married like myself, where you've got, your family unit. Some are single and they're co-parenting. Some are married but still have a baby outside or babies outside, and some are widowed. How did you get to the point like where you sit with your wife and you're like, okay, I've got 2 kids, prior to you coming to this relationship? How was that conversation with your wife, for example?
I think with me, I was fortunate enough that she found out when we were still dating.
Okay,
very,
so
very
she knew.
early on.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very early on. So she knew. But again, I'll go as far as say, with Bokumo, I was with their mother long ago, high school sweetheart, and obviously life happened, things didn't work out. I wouldn't say there wasn't challenges. It was never a bed of roses. No. There were crazy times.
I know that.
You know what I mean? But I think for me personally, I can only speak for myself.
Yeah, of course.
I literally just went with the wave. If you're fighting today, it's fine.
Yeah.
If you're okay today, it's fine.
Yeah.
One thing I never compromised on was my duties as a father.
Right.
From day one,
Right.
I'd provide where I had to provide.
Yeah.
Can I have the kids? No. Okay, shop. I think there was no point where I would mudsling.
Yeah.
Yes, it got I'd get frustrated from time to time.
Yeah.
So bringing it back to this side now with the marriage, it was very easy.
Yeah.
From the beginning, it's like, oh, by the way, I've got kids.
Yeah.
Okay, we keep it moving.
Yeah. How did she react to that? Did she? I mean, you guys didn't have a child then, and you were not married. You were still dating. Did she have any reservations?
I think, fortunately for me, at our age, she already knew that it's next to impossible to find a guy who has kids.
Yeah.
You're lucky if there's one.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's 2 or more.
Yeah.
So fortunately for me, that played a huge part.
And how did your kids accept the fact that you are no longer with their mom and that you are now with someone else? Did you have a conversation with them, or was it just something that naturally unfolded itself?
Okay, for me it was a natural progression, simply because, luckily for me, as unfortunate as it is, I broke up with their mother when they were very, very, very young.
Oh yeah, okay.
So obviously they grew up in a household knowing that I don't stay with their mother.
Yeah.
Their mother is alone. I'm
And
the
they would
side.
visit you.
That's it, yes.
But you never exposed them to anyone that you dated or
No.
anything like that? Okay.
So for me, I have to be with you for quite some time and be sure before I introduce you to the kids.
Why was that important to you as a father? Like why do you think that was important for you to do that?
Remember, it's different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
For me personally, my kids are my secret place.
Yeah.
That's my safe haven.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to bring you, including friends, I mean, friends will know, but they will never, a lot of them have never met, but they will say, no, I know you've got kids, but they haven't met your kids.
Right.
So for me, I keep that side of my life very private, one side.
Yeah.
So that's why even when I'm dating someone, it will take a while.
Yeah.
And once I'm comfortable, then you will meet the kids.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, some relationships wouldn't work out, but at least I knew that I shielded them to the best of my ability.
So tell me, you were raised by your mom, right?
Yes.
Where's your father?
They got divorced.
Okay.
When I was about 12.
So you've met him, you know him?
Oh no, I know him.
Okay.
For the first good 7 years of my life, I stayed with him, both parents, yes.
Okay. Now that you are married, do you still speak to him?
Sure, no.
Okay.
And not to give too much, it's because we obviously don't.
Yeah.
I'm a product of exile.
Yeah.
So I think that sums it up.
Yeah.
Mom met my dad that side, we then came this side with my mom.
So he's still that side?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How did you find that? Like growing up on the other side and then finally coming into South Africa with your mom. Here's this woman who is a mother to you, but also a father, because she's fulfilling both roles in the absence of your dad.
Yes.
In your mind, when like obviously you've got friends like myself, you come to my house, you meet my dad treats you like his own.
Yes.
So I've always wondered in my head, how did that make you feel to know that your dad is on the other side and you are on this side, but you've got so many fathers around you, anyway, and uncles, Uncle AB and all of that, who played their role in your life as father figures.
Yes.
How did you, like, what was going through your mind?
So surprisingly for me, there was never any shift.
Yeah.
Because my grandfather stepped in immediately.
I can't believe I even forgot the most important male figure in your life.
So actually, for me, I literally always had a father figure.
Yeah.
So the only difference was grandfather stepping in. He's a powerful person.
He's a public figure.
So he's a person of interest.
Yeah.
So obviously, from his end, the uncles that I'd have are people of interest.
Yeah.
So
you
know what I mean. So whoever is a colleague to him, because you're at the house 3-4 times, you're already my uncle.
Yeah. So you had a lot of father figures.
Yes.
So did that close the gap, if there was, of your biological father?
That's what I was about to say. For me, there was absolutely no gap.
Okay.
I didn't know any different. I was none the wiser.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It was literally like a baton.
Wow.
You step out, pass it to someone else.
Wow.
So I was none the wiser with that. It's only much older when I then met you and I'll come to your house and I'll see. I think I've told you this before, your relationship with your dad, but much older.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In your 30s, it's like snap.
Yeah.
That's what's missing.
Yeah, I hear you.
But it was literally older, but younger, I would be lying.
Yeah, because your cup was full.
Yeah.
Your cup was full of love. So now you're married, you've got a beautiful family. How are you raising your kids in comparison to how you were raised? Because now your kids have got that unit that you didn't necessarily have. You know what I'm saying? They've got their own mother, right? Yes. But they also come over and they've got you and your wife, who also fulfills that role of being a second mother to them,
of course.
whether they like it or not, because that's your wife.
Yes.
So how are you now raising them, yet knowing that they are not your wife's kids, if you know what I mean?
Yes. I think fortunately for me, from day one, the conversation I've always had with her is Bokuma are going nowhere.
Yeah.
They're our kids.
Yeah.
And she came in it understanding.
Right.
So nothing has changed from the time we're dating to now, where maybe she'll now start saying, why are you paying for their fees?
Yeah,
Stop paying for their
now
fees.
we're married,
Yes,
right?
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So fortunately, none of that changed.
Okay.
If anything, it's all our conversations around, it's always inclusive of them. As much as they don't live with us, they come over the weekends, but everything is inclusive of them. We are going away, okay,
they are part of it.
Bokumo when we close. We are doing this, so everything is that. So it's and for me, they're well-raised kids. You know what I mean? They were raised well by their grandparents as well as their mother. So I will never say that. So Libo and I, it's the same. Do you know what I mean? So
do they treat your wife differently? Do you see any? So they're the same.
Exactly the same. If anything, they speak more to her than to me.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's a good thing. That's actually a good thing.
That's the craziest thing.
Yeah, but it's actually a good thing because it means they can have a relationship outside you.
Oh yes.
They can do their own thing.
I'd hear things from her and she would say to me, listen, Kumo told me this, please don't tell her. And I'm like, why didn't you tell me?
Wow. So for me, what's interesting is the fact that you've managed to find a formula that works for you. It doesn't work for everybody.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, it's not a one, like you said, it's not a one size fits all. You know? Just because it works for you, doesn't mean it'll work for another couple or another family. And what I want to know from you is, if you had an opportunity right now to say something to your dad that you have never had an opportunity to say to him, what would that be? If he had to walk in here and he's like, I'm here and I've got 10 minutes, I want to talk to you. You can ask me anything or you can say anything to me. What would that be?
I think I'd be doing him injustice if I said he was a shitty dad. My dad was an incredible dad. Absolutely brilliant. It's incredible how I still have memories. Every Sunday we'd go to the beach. Every Sunday we'll be on his motorbike.
You can still remember
how long?
this?
Yes. How long did that happen? You know what I mean? Was a great dad. Absolutely great dad. But it's mothers and sons, fathers and daughters. Where he lacked, which I can respect now that I'm a man. He was not the greatest of husbands. So I can sit now as a man and go, these were his shortcomings. But his shortcomings were never that he was a terrible dad. Do you know what I mean?
I hear you.
It's just in our language, Lotale Fati got the better of him. Do you know what I mean? And again, I'll never sit here and pass judgment.
No, you have no right.
You know what I mean?
Nobody does.
Younger, I used to completely choose sides, but as you grow as a man and you make some of his mistakes and you start going snap.
It can happen to
I'm
anyone.
only more fortunate because I'm smart enough to deal with them differently. He didn't have the opportunity.
And address them.
Yes.
Wow. Have you ever told your dad that you love him?
Dog, I was too young when, I'm sure I was 6 years old or 7 years old. So I was too young. So
I'm gonna pose the same question towards your grandfather, who was a critical figure in your life, and I know this because we would talk about your grandfather all the time. We would be like, yo, man, I'd be fascinated. I'm like, dog, that's your grandfather. Like, do you know who this man is? Like, yo. And I unfortunately didn't get the opportunity to meet him.
No, you met him.
Maybe I was overwhelmed. Went to visit, but did I meet him like personally?
No, party at home.
That's
the first day you found out because I didn't tell you. So we went home.
It must have been so overwhelming.
I was like, oh no, come, that's my grandfather.
It must have been so overwhelming
like, Snap,
for me.
why didn't you tell me? I was like, why should I tell you?
Show my brother. My friend.
That's when you were like, why didn't you tell me? And I was like, no man.
It must have been one of those moments. But if you had an opportunity to say something to him, what would it be in his absence?
Jeez, thank you for the surname. Jeez, thank you for the surname. Thank you for the surname. I took the long route around, but finally I can see the benefits. But the more he stepped up, man. Literally from day one, all I remember is my mom said, okay, we are moving in. We're going to stay with my father. Got there. everything was okay. So if anyone that's going to be watching this was ever in exile, they'll tell you how with exile it works. With exile, you're here today.
Yeah.
Now, because of the person he was, especially in the struggle, we won't be here for long.
Right, you have to keep it moving.
Yes.
Because it's a risk.
In 8 months' time, you come home and like, your bags are packed, we're leaving, we're going to another country.
Yeah.
But when you get there, the following day, you already have a school, you've got school uniform, everything is fine. And it was like all him. Yeah, it was literally all him. I'll never say anything else.
Yeah.
We came here, came to the country, we were for about a year and a half. Then I got my mom a house. There's a house for you. So he literally stepped up.
Yeah.
He was a father, a husband. I mean, for crying out loud, Mandela took my mom to go get a job.
Yeah.
Because he asked a favor from a friend that, listen, my daughter is a doctor. She's struggling to get a job. She's like, it's fine, I'll fetch her tomorrow.
Crazy.
So it's so now with him, dog, it's thanks for everything.
Yeah.
Literally, from the job my mom got is through him asking for a favor.
Yeah.
The first house my mom had, he bought. The school we went to.
Yeah.
And the most incredible thing is we used to use the same bursary.
Yeah.
It was called Batakhai.
Yeah.
We'll sit there in the foyer, it's Sisulu kids, Slovo kids, Mang kids.
Kids of the struggle.
So that's why it's the surname.
So before I end this, I want to find out from you, 20 years from now,
Yes.
you have an opportunity to say something to your kids. They are watching this. 20 years from now, will either still be alive or will be passed on, doesn't matter. But in 20 years time, what message do you want to leave with your kids that they can watch 20 years from today?
I love them, I loved them, and I will always love them. That's number one.
Yeah.
And the good thing with me is the seed.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's small victories, man. The fact that I get to take them to school every day and fetch them every day.
Yeah.
That for me is sensational.
Yeah.
It's
not a job.
People take.
It's not a job.
No,
it's not a job.
No.
Yeah.
And that's something that someone else who's doing it's like I have to go. No.
It's a schlep. No. It's an
Me,
opportunity.
yes. For me, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And one thing that I'd always joke with my wife and say, the one memory that I want my kids to always have is our father cooking for us.
Yeah.
That for me surpasses anything else.
Yeah.
Absolutely anything else. Yes, we work for a lot of money.
Yeah.
So we take them to the best schools, take them on holidays.
Yeah.
But for me, that, literally, if they say in 20 years' time, what do you remember of your dad, is snap. Him standing in the kitchen cooking for us.
Yeah.
Because you do know, as black fathers, it's taboo to be in the kitchen.
It's not cool.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you see, for me, the thing is with this AMATYMA series, I get to learn so much about other people and how they are navigating this journey of fatherhood, and how what's important to me might not be important to you. What do you think is important to you in terms of cooking for them might be completely a bore for me.
Absolutely.
And a schlep, in fact.
Yes.
What? I'm not gonna cook for what? No,
Yes.
my wife is there for that. And it's small things like that that we all get to learn as we watch these episodes. We are all traveling this journey in our own different way, based how we were raised as well, because it does inform a lot of how you also raise your kids. But also I just think there's just this new era of fathers that are just involved.
Yes.
You know, that for them, it's cool. It's almost like it's such a beautiful challenge to be able to say, I'm dropping off my kids. I do the same. In the morning, it's my opportunity for me to spend time with them. I get to gossip with them. I get to gossip about everything in the car. So even that trip to go to school doesn't feel like a strenuous exercise, because by the time I drop them off, it's like, bye, oh, so quick. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Okay, whatever. But for me, this is what this is about. That's why I started this movement, by the way, so that we can create the conversation. And I've seen a lot of timers come out with challenges, but also we need to celebrate the good that comes out of being a father. You know, it's a scary thing in the beginning, but
absolutely.
You soon realize that
at any age,
you can never be ready. But once you are tasked with the responsibility, you must step up.
Yes.
And this whole thing of people saying it's duty. it's not a duty.
No.
It's a privilege.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can have
Yes.
kids. And there's a lot of people that look at us and they're like, yo, these guys, and it's not easy. I won't lie.
No.
People see what they see on Instagram
Yes.
and on social media and they think it's hunky-dory. It's not, you know. You have tough conversations with the kids.
Yes.
You have the dynamic of the family and the grandparents, if you're still lucky to still have them alive,
yes.
and all of that. But thank you for your time. I mean, I really think this was insightful, especially because there's a lot of things I wanted to ask you, but I was not sure if I should, especially around your dad, because I know that it's one of those things we never really spoke about. But I'm glad that you opened up about it, and there could be someone else who was in your position who didn't know what to do.
Yes.
And maybe that's an opportunity for them to talk about it.
Yep.
And not hold back at the expense of their kids as well.
Yes.
You know? So do you before we go, do you one day wish that your dad can meet your kids?
Oh yes,
And
of course.
and see them and
No,
see
no,
you
yes.
and see the success you made of yourself.
Yes. Oh no, of course. Of course.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
And have you taken your kids to meet your grandfather by the graveside?
Yes.
To introduce
Except
them?
for the little one.
Okay,
but
because she's still young.
that-
Because she's still young.
because she's still
Okay.
young, yes.
But that's
the 2
important.
years.
That's
Yes.
important.
Yes.
That's very important. That's very important.
Yeah.
No, thank you, brother. I think this was for me a very good one because we are learning as we go, and this is what AMATYMA is about. You know, really having frank conversations with fathers, AMATYMA who are just crazy about their kids and not willing to compromise the quality of the lives of their kids in as long as they can provide that quality life. And quality life doesn't have to do with money, guys.
Yeah.
Please, 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 please. I need to make it clear that quality of life has got nothing to do with money, but the ability to be able to provide what you can for your kids and your
That's
family.
it.
AMATYMA network.
That's it though.
Thank you.
What you can. Thank you, buddy.
Don't believe a word they say. Turn around and walk away. Make your world a better stay. Listen to your daddy.